Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel where I dig into viral content. The discussion today is going to center Kendrick Lamar's NFL halftime show performance. Kendrick was already a world-renowned rapper before all of this. I personally was introduced to Kendrick by his album Mad City, and my favorite song on the album was Swimming Pools, which is still my favorite until this day. Kendrick is now 37, but he's been rapping since his early 20s. Oh, I think he's been putting out studio albums since then. He's been in the rap game for a while. Matter of fact, the name K Dot was his rapper name when he released his first mixtape back when he was in high school. So he's been doing this for, almost half of his entire life. I think that's fair to say. I'm saying all of this to say he is bigger than what he's currently known for, which is the beef with Drake. It is a little disrespectful for the people to reduce him to a beef with Drake. The music industry seems like a whole mafia ring. The people who make it big are the ones holding and maintaining the industry. And I believe someone like a Drake just knew how to play the game better. That doesn't mean he was ever really more talented than all the other rappers, but that's just my opinion. But anyways, this video is not about Drake, so let me get into a few things which I believe we can all learn and take away from this whole saga. First and foremost, I do not feel comfortable with the NFL doing anything for the culture. This is the same organization that has suppressed black voices in the past. Most of us are familiar with the whole Colin Kaepernick situation. Their solution to the issue was to hire Jay-Z as an event coordinator. Like, what a joke. All that did, right, was have Jay-Z get more black people to perform for the halftime shows, which, if we really think about, that's just more views and more money in the NFL's pockets. That's literally it. So they just made more profit from, black pain. That's what happened there. The NFL as a corporation does not care about the black community. Even though 70% of NFL players are black, the organization itself is here to cater to a white audience. I understood exactly what the performance meant. I understood the message behind what he was trying to do. I understood what he was trying to convey. I just do not trust the platform that was used to convey his message. It was a lot of people screaming and cheering, they're not like us, that are not like us. The NFL is not like us. A lot of people in that organization are not like us. Even Taylor Swift was singing and clapping. They're not like us at the Grammys and was also in attendance at the Super Bowl. Is Taylor like us? I'm so confused. To me, the NFL is just trying to eat off a viral moment. Just for that alone, I doubt the motives behind the entire halftime show. And next, let me add this. I agree that the halftime show performance was significant, right? Like I mentioned before, I understand the message that it was conveying. But Kendrick himself had to shake a lot of shady hands and sign a lot of shady contracts. I mean, it's the music industry after all, right? He had to mingle with a lot of people that do not align with his message. Kendrick's performance on the NFL stage is like Colin Kaepernick still trying to work for the NFL. I don't understand why some people try so hard to be accepted into spaces that were clearly not meant for them. I don't know how to feel about people who are loud about the system. They still try to be part of said system. Like for those of us who watch Real Housewives, for example, Nene Leakes accused Bravo and Andy Cohen of being, the racist word. But she later on expressed that she would be open to working with them again. So my question to a lot of people, right, who talk about the system but end up, performing within said system, my question is, do those people really want to address the system and make a change, or do they just want the system to accept them because they feel alienated by the system? Do they just want to belong, or do they really want to make a change? Kendrick performing on the NFL stage really had me looking at him like, I mean, you just another one of them. That's how I felt about him. I think we as people really need to start giving a bigger platform and our ears to, rappers who are not backed by these major record labels and big corporations. I think those are the only artists that we can trust, but that's something that we're going to have to work on ourselves, because we are used to listening to artists who have already made it big. And that's actually something that I'm calling myself out here, because a lot of the artists that I listen to are artists that have already made it big. And to make it big, you have to be backed by these corporations. And yeah, I think we really need to find a lot of artists that don't have this machine behind them, because these are the artists that we can actually trust. Let me go ahead and also add this. I hope the people realize that Kendrick is just part of the same organizations that have supported Drake and turned Drake into a superstar. People do not question where your entertainment is coming from. Because how did a Canadian biracial man become one of the most famous rappers in the US? When Drake debuted in his rap career, I personally saw him more as an outsider. He just seemed like he was invited for marketing purposes. I saw him as a corny dude that was there to appeal to other corny people like him. And to be honest, like me, in a way. To me, Drake was the diversity hire. That's what he was. Diversity hire. He was what white people call DI. That's what he was to me. And then I stopped listening to him for a minute. And then one day I paid attention and he was now one of the biggest rappers alive. Personally, I was confused by that. But Drake did not do this alone. A lot of people helped him get to that number one spot. And those people helped him maintain that position till now. And those people are some of the same people who are now helping Kendrick become a bigger star. What I need people to understand, especially Kendrick fans, is that everything that is given can be taken. The presidents and the CEOs in the music industry gave Drake and so many other rappers tools to run the game, and then they took it back when they felt like it. Do not think for a second that Kendrick will not have the exact same faith. It is just a matter of time. The music industry is very good at making us, the people, feel like we have a choice in the music that we listen to, when really the record labels decide what music is going to trend. Those record labels have power in marketing, PR, they control social media algorithms, and they can really shape our reality without us even realizing it. People think they get to choose their entertainment, but there are so many people behind the scenes who decide what kind of entertainment we even get to choose from. It does not matter if you're a Kendrick fan, it doesn't matter if you're a Drake fan. They are both part of the same industry. They both have the same bosses. They are both the same professionally. They touch the same money. The only thing that differ is your lyrics and how they hypnotize the public. One thing that I will say is that Kendrick is a little more dangerous in my opinion because he really seems like he understands the people. People flock to him so much. So now he really has the potential to dumb us down even more since people think he's different. I really like the performance. I think the performance was necessary, especially in the political climate that we are in today. But I myself don't know what to make of it. Because at the end of the day, he goes against the grain, all while being part of the grain. There is a part of me that would trust him more if he starts to get ostracized by the industry. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. But do not be surprised if sooner or later he gets the same treatment that Drake gets. It might not be by losing another rap beef, right? That was created by the record label, but just by being silenced. The press constantly pounding on him like they do with all the artists that they want to get rid of. The same press celebrating him now would not have a problem tossing him to the side like they did Drake. When that happens, just don't be surprised. Next, the left is using the black community like it always does. This halftime show was very blackety black, black, black. I think this happens solely because the left is trying to enrage black people into fighting your battles, specifically against the right or against Trump. Like I mentioned earlier, the NFL do not care about the black community. We are entertainment for a lot of them. For a lot of their fans, we are entertainment. So while a lot of right-leaning Trump supporters went on an anti-black rant about the halftime show, the NFL did not approve of Kendrick because we are all fam. They just need a bigger army to fight against, another big army. So let me elaborate on this. This is how I see American politics right now. Right versus left. Two controlling evil forces are fighting for power. Trump and the right are bad in a lot of ways, but the left is not an example either. Both parties need power. They need people under their control. The more people under their control that they have, the better. The right cater to a fan base that think aligning with them is fighting the system, while the right is the system. The left caters to people who believe that they are progressive and revolutionary. In reality, the power structure of both groups do not really care about the people they represent. They use those people to gain power. That's all. In reality, the power structure of both groups do not really care about the people they represent. They just use them to gain power. So all the anti-black people who were mad at Kendrick's performance are just a tool to start race wars, while we are all in the same boat and they don't even realize it. And the people who support Kendrick are also used to participate in the war that at the end of the day don't even benefit them, since they do not get any real rewards from this. Let me make this very clear. I'm not one of those let's all come together type of people. Like, I'm not. As a black woman, allyship has never benefited black women. I'm saying all of this to say the halftime show was political, but people shouldn't be fooled. There will never be any real rewards for fighting each other in the name of our political affiliations. Never. Moving on, the next 4 years would be very DEI focused. Some people will be against DEI, some people will be for DEI, but I sense that DEI will become an even bigger part of our national dialogue. I mean, look at all the YT people's reactions to the halftime show. YT people wanted to be included in the performance. A lot of them were jealous AF, as some of them always are. We all know by now DI has been attacked by our current sitting president very openly and publicly. What he has done with that, the criticizing of DI, was removing the mask of integration that the US has been wearing for so long. I say the mask of integration because this country is not really integrated as it pretends. The image of unity in this country is fake. Not to say that all different groups hate each other, like each individual people from each individual groups hate everybody else from other groups, which is impossible, by the way, because of intersectionality. But there is a lot of hatred, and we are never able to see the hatred because the hatred wears a mask. So I believe what will happen is people who are against DI will have to digest the fact that they will be excluded from a lot of other groups. People who are for DI will have to face the reality that diversity, equity, and inclusion was just a facade. DI was just a business move for a lot of corporations. It was nothing but a trend to a lot of people. DI was just something that made a lot of people feel inclusive without actually being inclusive. It will be very interesting to see all the future reactions to DI now that the truth is out. But in case some of you thought DI was done for, oh no, DI is just getting started. Next, let me finish with this. People who wanted Lil Wayne to perform at the NFL halftime show are the same people who value entertainment over the truth. And I know a lot of people see Lil Wayne as somebody who changed the game, but let me say this. Lil Wayne is the same person who, in the middle of a police brutality situation, he came forward to say that white cops are good cops because a white cop saved his life when he was in danger or something like that. Like, he had just got shot and he was a white police officer who saved his life. That could be true, but that doesn't reflect the system that we have right now. So he did not read the room, and I think he was very tone deaf. Lil Wayne is the same rapper who said, "Beautiful black women, I bet that beat look better red." So he's definitely one of those rappers who, make a lot of non-black people feel important and comfortable, and he pedestalizes them a lot because he entertains them at the expense of his own people, at the expense of black people. And I think he specifically targets black women in a harsher, more insulting way. So he's the type of black rapper who pedestalizes women of other races at the expense of, black women. These rappers are all under the same umbrella. I've said that already. But if we are going to give a platform to any of them, I would rather the platform go to someone who doesn't openly disrespect black women with your music. And that's just that on that. So anyways, this marks the end of my video. Thank you all so much for those of you who have made it to this part of the video. Thank you so much for sticking by. Please like, please comment, please subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next video.